Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and thought I would do one of these types of videos. People have liked this format a little bit. So I'm like, let me just get my webcam rolling and a sip of my aspartame fueled water. All right. Let's talk about Cali muscle. I'm only bringing this up really because it keeps popping up in my Facebook feed because I'm very, very active on Facebook. I have a really big page there. I may upload this to both places. And, I keep seeing him now after this whole watermelon thing. And Chris Jones, I don't even need to roast Cali for any stuff. Chris Jones pretty well roasted him pretty bad the other day. Like that, I almost feel bad for Cali. I actually listened to it. Some people linked it to me. I'm friends with Chris Jones. It was actually painful to listen to. Like, I almost feel bad for him. Like, I don't know, man. Maybe you don't want to try to pick beef with Chris. So, that aside, let's talk about this whole seedless watermelon thing. And it's scary because I see his audience. And I chimed in on one of them. If people look, I commented on one, and a bunch of people click like on it. Cali, you clearly don't know basic agriculture. You don't know basic agricultural science. And it's scary because the people following you don't. I mean, this should be remedial level stuff where people understand where their food comes from. And this is frightening that he's now going on and on about seedless watermelon being bad as if this is some major genetic that's just, it's basic selective breeding. Also keep in mind you're dealing with things like male and female watermelons, right? Plants have male and female, believe it or not, guys, they do. My family were farmers and ranchers on my dad's side. I've been around this stuff. I've worked the family orchard, the family ranch before. I have a reasonable idea. Not an expert, but I have a reasonable idea on how these things work. And, yes, we selectively breed crops. And people need to understand that. Nothing that you're buying at the grocery store, as far as even your fruits and vegetables, are how they are found out in the wild thousands and thousands of years ago. Humans have cultivated food for better nutritional value. Our food... And we need to be clear here, and it's just scary that Cali doesn't understand this, his audience doesn't understand this. We have cultivated food to be more nutritious, okay? All these quote-unquote superfoods you think of, people are like, man, look at the amount of vitamin C, look at the vitamin K, all that in these foods, okay? We have bred these foods to be more nutritious, right? A lot of them, we've bred them for better sugar content, more calories, because we need calories. But if you take away all the junk food people eat, we're actually getting enough calories, all whole food. Without this, it's harder than you think. So reason malnutrition and starvation have been the leading causes of death in the human race. We don't think of that now because we live in a society where we have so much excess in junk food and refined foods that people are obese. We don't think in those terms, but historically that was the case. We have bred food for better nutrition, to be these superfoods. These are man-made. Broccoli is a man-made thing. There is no such thing as broccoli in the wild. But look at the nutrition profile on broccoli. We're like, it's phenomenal. Yes, we've created that. Okay? And people have to understand these things. These are human inventions as a result of selective breeding, cultivation, right? But and there's nothing wrong with a seedless watermelon, my God. The guy was eating this stuff anyways, and he is hardly an expert on health. I mean, he has said so much incorrect stuff. Even that quack medical doctor, well, not even technically a medical doctor, he brought on doesn't even know basic nutrition, or he does and he's just trying to sell stuff. And it's just frightening that someone with Calis Outreach is then promoting this, and then you're seeing it in the comments. I mean, I saw someone right in there, and they had a bunch of upticks, and he literally wrote, and I was dumbfounded at the ignorance. I think I responded to that one. Yeah, these watermelons are sterile, and if they can make sterile watermelons, what makes you think they can't make you sterile? And I'm like, you're telling me the farmers who have bred these watermelons to be seedless, right, out in their fields, okay, want to try to make you sterile? Like, do people not understand how insane that is? Because who's they? They is a farmer. Okay, when you're talking about the they, who's creating these seedless watermelons? Farmers. Who created broccoli? Farmers. These are selectively bred crops that humans have cultivated carefully to be these great foods that we eat. It's the work of the farmers who make your food. It's like there's not some evil genius up at the top manipulating things to make that happen. This is stuff that's happened for generations. Okay, and it's just your normal farmers who realize, hey, if I breed these crops this way, they're more nutritious, they taste better, they sell better, people like them. That's all that it is. There's not some conspiracy to make evil seedless watermelons. No, guess what? People don't like the seeds as much, so if we just breed some seedless ones and we get this whole crop of them over here who come out seedless, people like them. They like eating them. And then to go and to look at something like that when we literally have so much just garbage junk food available, just fried foods and giant piles of high fructose corn syrup and everything with oils and butter and fried in oils and all this stuff that someone is going to really harp on about that. And even then, they're not even looking, is there any research or anything to suggest that seedless watermelons are bad? No, they're great. Of course, I'll upset people. I'm sitting here drinking my aspartame. And anyone who's looked at the research shouldn't even be that scared of aspartame. I mean, compare that to high fructose corn syrup. Not even in the ballpark. A million miles apart. Again, it's lack of education in nutrition, and then it's also a lack of education in agricultural science and the history of the food that people eat. And it's just downright scary. And it's scary that someone who has millions of followers is just promoting such absurd, ludicrous, ignorant information. It's ludicrous, guys. We have to do better. We've got to police our own fitness community a little better. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.